Hey folks, Machinery Pete here. I'm out on the road, actually very close to where I live in Rochester, Minnesota, here with Lawrence Schwanke. And Lawrence, you and Mary have your farm retirement sale this Saturday, November 17th, and I tell you, you've got an amazing line of equipment, Lawrence.
Well, we bought most of it new. We attempt to keep it in good shape, and the problem is when you build too many machine sheds, you try to fill it up. So I guess that's the that's the weakness that we have, or that I have. My wife doesn't have that weakness, but I do.
Well, you say attempted to keep it in good condition. I think you've succeeded. Having the sale with the good folks at Mering Auction this Saturday. What's it been like getting ready for the sale?
Well, it's gone actually probably smoother than I thought it might. My neighbor Jason Welter works with me, and he's been very helpful in getting a lot of the tools and parts ready, and we've always tried to keep our machinery up. Even if we weren't going to be having an auction, it all gets cleaned immediately after it's used,
right.
And anything that needs to be repaired is fixed. So it's not really been any different than a normal fall in that sense.
Right. So Lawrence, I understand you've been getting phone calls on your machinery from, gosh, way out East Coast even.
Yes, we have a young couple called me from Okoboji, Iowa, about our 315 Case IH tractor, and they drove up this morning and are looking at it, and we're interested in it.
Right. Well, we'll hop in and take a look down the line of machinery in a second here, Lawrence, but I just want to talk a little bit now. We're just south of Rochester here, kind of on the edge of Stewartville, and of course I've lived in Rochester 29 years now, but you grew up right in the Rochester area, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up in southeastern Minnesota. My family farmed in southeastern Minnesota, as did all of my grandparents, so
okay.
I'm pretty much a native of the area.
And you were telling me, Lawrence, the last class of Rochester High School before it split off into multiple high schools?
Yes, in 1958, Rochester only had one high school, one public high school, and that was the class I graduated from in 1958.
Wow, class of 58. And Rochester back then, probably about what, 40, 50,000 people?
Well, I think it was probably under 40,000 at that time.
I think now we're up over 120. It's growing like a weed, isn't it?
Yes, and not everything about weeds is good.
That's true. That's very true. Now, Lawrence, you actually had a job, corporate America, up in the Twin Cities for years, didn't you?
Yes, in addition to farming, I worked for the Bemis Company. It used to be the old Bemis Brothers Bag Company.
Right.
That was founded back in 1858. So I worked for them for 30 years and then farmed in addition to that. So I took early retirement after 30 years, so I went from 2 jobs to 1.
How were you over the decades? That must have been challenging to keep all that going.
Well, it was a lot of hours, but it was interesting to function in really 2 different worlds. You'd be in the business world in the morning, and then I had a flexible schedule, so I could take a little vacation time, and I'd be down combining soybeans in the afternoon and in at the local elevator hauling in corn or soybeans. And it's interesting to have to sort of adjust to different worlds and different vocabularies and different problems. So I think it's a good challenge.
Did you find farming was a good release, or were you able to bring things from corporate America into your farming practices that helped, do you think? Or?
Well, it was certainly a change of pace. I guess one of the things I always enjoyed about farming is with tillage or harvesting, you work hard and you can see at the end of the day what you've accomplished.
Results. Very good. Well, Lawrence, can we go get a closer look at your beautiful line of machinery here?
We sure can.
All right, Lawrence, we got a Kubota skid steer here, and boy, I guess this thing has hardly any hours on it, right?
Well, it's just under 60 hours on it.
Okay.
We haven't used it that much. I had a small old case bulldozer,
sure.
And that was slow to move around, and so I bought this track skid steer and had the blade on it, so for working on waterways or doing dirt work, it really is pretty heavy and has good power, and so we
Who'd you buy it from?
From Niebuhr Implement in Miesville, Minnesota.
Up in Miesville, sure. Okay. Track's probably come in handy as wet as it's been in the last year or so, huh?
Oh yes, yeah, they really help for traction.
Okay.
And,
well, let's pan around here and get down the tractor line, Lawrence. You got a Magnum 315 here. Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, it's our heavy tillage tractor. It's got less than 800 hours on the engine, and
wow.
It's been you know, very good tractor for us. Haven't had any problems with it.
Okay.
And
so now the Case IH tractors, what dealer were you working with?
well, most of the case equipment that we have, we bought from Hamill Equipment in Chatfield, Minnesota.
Hamill. Sure, great folks down there.
Oh, they're excellent.
Okay. How about the 200 here, the Puma?
That we have used for planting. We have a narrow row soybeans, so we have a Kinsey planter we've used with that, and then we have used that for we've got larger Unverfurth gravity boxes, and we've used it's pretty fast in the road, so we use it to haul corn and soybeans in the gravity boxes as well.
Okay. What, you know what year that 200 Puma is?
Yeah, it's 2012.
12. Okay. Okay, well, next to it, now we're changing shades here. We're going back to Kubota on M7.
Yes, it's an M7, the 171. This is a new model they came out with a couple years ago. It's their largest tractor to date, I believe, and we just bought this last year. It's got the suspended front axle, and also used it for hauling, and we were going to use it for tillage this spring, but it was so wet this spring that we didn't use it for the tillage we intended to use it for.
Okay. And so you just got it. How many hours on it, Lawrence?
I think there's 137 hours on the tractor.
Just getting a broken head.
Yes.
But first impression on the M7 was?
Well, I like the looks of it. I guess you shouldn't buy a tractor for the looks, but I like the looks of it. And we have a smaller Kubota, an M5 111 that I really liked, and we've had good luck with the Kubota skid steer. Yep. So those were, I guess, some of the reasons that we bought it.
Okay. Well, we're going to switch brands again here. I noticed two Massey's on the sale, Lawrence.
Yes, we have two Massey Fergusons. At one time, I had probably 5 Massey Fergusons. Okay. This is the oldest tractor that we have. We bought new in 2001, and it's got under 2,400 hours. But I've used it for planting primarily over the years, and it's been an excellent tractor. Just a very handy tractor to plant with, and 32 speeds. So
nice. And are most of your tractors and equipment, would you say, a one owner, Lawrence?
Oh yes, yeah.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah, there's probably 4 or 5 that are not one owner, and those we bought with maybe you know, just very low hours on.
Right. And what planter were you planting with again, did you say?
Well, we have a white 8-row narrow planter that we just bought 4 years ago for corn. And
that's on the sale?
That's on the sale. That has less than 1,200 acres on it.
Nice.
And we have a Kinsey 16-row, 15-inch rows that we use for soybeans.
Also on the sale?
Yes, also on the sale.
And folks, for more information, go to maringauction.com. Online bidding this Saturday, so you can help yourself to all this beautiful equipment here. Let's keep going down the line, Lawrence. We got a 140 next.
Yes.
How old is this?
This is a 2011, I believe.
Okay. Hours on it?
This is a high-hour tractor. It's got 1,400 hours on it.
Spoken like a southeast Minnesota farmer. That's awesome, Lawrence. And what did you use the 140 for?
Well, I use that for spraying quite a bit.
Okay. Okay. Pretty good rig?
Very good rig. I like it.
Okay. Well, right on down the line, Farmall 105C. How about a year and hours on this tractor, Lawrence?
This is a 2014, and it's got a little less than 500 hours on it.
Okay. Okay, and then we're going back to Massey. One more Massey here.
Yes.
Well, that's a clean 4610. What year here?
I think that's a 2013. I might be off a year. Might be 14.
Okay. Now, what did you grow up when you were a kid around here, southeast Minnesota, on the farm? What kind of tractors did you have, Lawrence?
Well, my dad had Case tractors, so we had the Case before Case merged with IH.
So first tractor you drove as a little guy was what?
Well, my dad bought a SC Case that he bought in Rochester.
Okay.
It was in the spring of 1953.
Okay.
That was the first new tractor he ever had. So it had a hand clutch, and yeah, I was pretty young, but I was able to operate the hand clutch and drive that.
What do you remember about your dad with the new tractor? Pretty excited?
Oh, he was proud of that.
Wow. And that was a Case dealer right in Rochester?
Yeah, Albert Minke was his name, and he was just a little ways west of where St. Mary's Hospital is.
I'll be darned. There you go. A little piece of history, folks. And I tell you, one thing that really caught my eye on the Stewartville, Lawrence, is your combine, the 2588. Let's go take a look here. It's an 08, right?
Yeah, it's 2008. My understanding is they built the 2588 series only 2 years, 2007 and 8, I believe.
I think that's correct.
And we bought this new from Hamill Equipment in the fall of 2009.
Okay.
And
so how many low hours on it, right?
We have, when we finish combining, it has 676 hours on the rotor.
Wow, wow. So a decade in here, how the low hours?
Well, we don't use a grain cart. We don't empty the grain tank on the go, so we're stopping when we're emptying the grain tank, so the rotor isn't running then.
Gotcha.
And
yeah, I bet you've got some interest in this thing, given the late harvest here and such a nice machine, huh?
Well, there's been quite a few people called, even people that have different color machinery were calling when they, I guess, maybe saw the low hours on it.
Sure. And heads around past the combine here, what do we have for heads?
Well, we have a 8-row corn head, a 4208 8-row corn head that we bought new from Hamill's in 2015, and that's got just under 1,200 acres through it.
Wow. And on the end, the head we have is, what model is that?
There we have a 30-foot bean head,
okay.
And that's a 1020 bean head with a Cray air reel.
Nice setup.
Yes, it is. It's
well, Lawrence, thank you for showing us your tractors and combine and heads here. Beautiful equipment. And again, the sale is Saturday, and you and Mary, are you ready for the sale Saturday?
Yes, we hope the weather's ready, and
well, it'll just be a nice, cold, brisk Minnesota day, just like today, huh?
Well, yeah, today is a beautiful day, beautiful weather, and if people dress with appropriate clothing, it's very pleasant out.
Right. Well, it's a beautiful area here on the edge of Stewartville and Rochester, folks. So if you want to look at and get a chance to buy some great machinery, come up to Lawrence Mary Schwanke's farm auction. Lawrence, thank you again for telling us about your machinery. I wish I could be here Saturday. We're filming over in Iowa, but I'll be watching the sale here, and hoping you have a great day.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks, here with Kevin with Mary Auction. And Kevin, hey, great to see you again. And man, quite a line of equipment we got here. I understand you've dealt with Lawrence over the years?
Yeah, we have. We had the opportunity to sell some machinery for Lawrence a few years back when he was starting to kind of slow down, you could say.
Sure.
And we sold. It was a versatile 4-wheel drive for him up at one of our consignment sales.
Up in Kenyon?
Yep, Kenyon.
Okay.
A few years ago, I want to say it's got to be about 5-6 years ago, 7 maybe at the longest. And it was an extremely nice 4-wheel drive, low hours, and just anything you sell for Lawrence is in pretty nice shape.
That was indicative of his farming operation, the care.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Yep, he's a perfectionist in my opinion. He is. He takes care of his equipment like his own kids.
Right. And were you aware before getting the sale lined up here, Kevin, about his low-hour stuff?
You know, my dad Matt has been working with Lawrence a little bit more than I have, but I've known him, and I know when Matt talked to him, Lawrence is a planner. He plans things very much in advance, how he's going to do things, and he's just the way he operates, you know.
Right. Well, very cool. And again, online bidding on the sale Saturday, Kevin, at MaringAuction.com, right?
Yep. Go through MaringAuction.com, go through the links, and you get onto proxy bid. There'll be live internet bidding on all the major machinery.
Okay. What time's the sale start Saturday?
Starts at 9:30.
Online bidding starts same time?
Yeah. Well, there'll be a little bit of small tools and stuff like that.
Okay.
Ram Trucks, premier vehicle of Machinery Pete TV.